introduction to Shazam.
That's a good point.
That and the Mighty Mighty Isis.
I think of a lot of our listeners that watched Planet of the Apes originally will remember that Shazam and Isis hour.
Right, and so let's tie this together. Shazam and then Isis became just as exciting to me because it wasn't, and I didn't think of it as an empowered woman, but it was this woman that was, wow, she's the hero. So I'm thrilled by Captain Marvel introducing another powerful, intelligent woman into the world, because when I saw Wonder Woman, I literally wanted to lean across and grab my daughter into my arms and go, that's you. You know, you can be anything you want. And I love that portrayal. I'm excited to see it, but at the same time, Shazam wins because the little boy me can't let go of that. I can be a superhero just by saying a word. And
have you gone to see Battle Angel Alita?
Not yet.
Do
I need to take Abby to see it?
Yes,
Okay.
you do.
Right.
Yes, you do. This is a story about a young woman kind of discovering who she is, and she is the action heroine of the film. She is also very much a teenage girl in her portrayal and the way it's done. I think it's a beautiful film. I mean, if you can get past the kind of slight alterations to like her eyes and things like that, but they give you
it's a little anime eyes.
They give you a little bit of. There's a reason for all of that makes sense. It's still a summer popcorn film, so it's still going to gloss over bigger issues from time to time.
Sure.
And not delve into stuff that you need to know, but it definitely built a really, really big world. And the lead is just something I think teenage girls and adult women will just kind of fall in love with as something they don't get to see that often. More so than even Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was always an adult woman. This is actually a young girl.
I will make time to take Abby to see that. It's important to me that she constantly hear not only how a woman should be treated. She'll bring in rap music occasionally. She's like, what do you think? I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be real honest with you. My problem is it's incredibly misogynistic. You listen and they're talking down to women. I don't dig that. That's not what I want you to hear. But then she will bring in the things. There's an artist named SZA, if you don't know who that is. And she's a very empowered woman. She's confident. And I try to stress to her that these are the things I want. So if there's a movie I can take her to see, and I do think there's, for the parents out there, I think their parents would agree. There's value in showing them the things you don't. Like, I don't want this to happen to you. You need to be aware of that. But at the same time, this is who I want you to be. So I will take her to see it.
Elite is good for that
I will
reason.
let you know. And plus, it's Robert Rodriguez, so.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
I do love him.
I hope it does well enough to make a sequel, because it definitely was.
Well, I heard
world.
that I know you've seen it, but I heard that they felt like they were doing a whole lot of world building.
They did a lot of world building in a good way. Did not drag it down at all.
Well, I think that at least because it has a Cameron story, and I think he executive produced it. James Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
So even if that film makes 1/3 of its budget,
he's got 7 more films planned after it.
Yeah, that's where he's like, screw it, I'm making everything I want to make.
Does anybody care about Avatar?
Not at all.
Well, there used to be people like that wanted to go there and had to be one of those people. It was Dances with Wolves. Again, it was the white man comes in and saves the indigenous people because they can't do it themselves.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed it on some level for, again, I'll say a summer film. Like, okay, that was a fun ride. Cool, I'm done with it. I can put it away. It didn't become my world. And so much time has now passed that I just don't even know if that audience is there anymore.
Well, then he came out and was so ugly to James Wan with Aquaman, saying that he didn't like it, or something akin to it was not.
I wouldn't have done it that way. It wouldn't have just been people floating underwater talking to each other.
Because the science of this is this, and when you see the new Avatar, we actually go underwater and it'll be true science. Shut the fuck up.
Do you think he sits around at like a dinner table with party with all of his friends and they just talk his shit up all the time?
Oh yeah,
because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's having a scotch. He's sitting with his friends and he's just like, I'm going to talk about how important I am, and you tell me how important I am.
It's
like,
a big stroke job for him. That's
Every
all it is.
conversation probably begins like this. When I was on the bottom of the Marianas Trench, when I was at the lowest point that any person has ever been in the ocean, I was thinking about Aquaman.
So
this is why it wouldn't work.
There's a film critic, and I can't remember her name. She's on a podcast that Sean had me listen to, The Canon. And look, I'm completely bitch slapping another podcast, but she, and I forget her name, she will go on where she says that the greatest living filmmaker is James Cameron. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because he makes the same movie every time. No, Titanic is not the same movie as Terminator, yet there's a large corporation, the Starline and what's
Skynet?
Skynet over both of them. there is an interest of a male and a female being separated, the mother and the son, the lovers in Titanic. There's always an outside threat coming in. It's the same fucking... You can do that same thing to Avatar. It is the same... The Abyss. Fucking same movie every time. He's a hack. And he makes really great visuals. And you know what? He understands assembly
knows
of
the technology. Yeah.
Yes. He's a fucking hack as a storyteller. I can't stay him.
I have to say,
fucking hate him.
Avatar, I watched it in 3D, and IMAX 3D, I believe, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I mean, the colors just popping.
Do you think it will hold up today?
I think that 3D would be just as beautiful.
Okay.
The story will be just as bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like 3D movies?
If it's intended to be in 3D, I can like it, but I don't necessarily go out of my way to see them.
I know Sean likes it. He's told me that, and you know why I hate it is that because you put on these polarized lenses,
It's so dim.
It dims the light.
Yeah.
What they need, if they're going to continue with this 3D shit, they need to figure out how to project it brighter levels so that it is not dimmed. Because it always looks like somebody's turned down the level of the projector.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about it before.
And
You're right.
It bugs
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I watch it. I'm like, there's no deep saturation to the colors, and I won't go anymore.
I haven't been able to see one in 3D in a while because we like going to Alamo Draft House and they don't do it at the one down here or down my house. But I don't remember where I was going to go with this.
3D, what you like about it, the dimming of the color.
3D.
What movie did you want to go see that was in 3D that you're excited about that you didn't go see? Something like that?
I absolutely do not remember. Where I was
Okay,
going with this.
Richard, we're firing Sean from the podcast. He can't remember shit.
The fact that there's just like a letter and a number kind of put together to make the words 3D. Would you want it to be spelled out? Like, I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't remember where I was going either.
So when I look at it, and we've all gone together to see.
I know where I was going with it.
I'll finish my thought. You finish yours. It's there. Go.
I like 3D movies if they're shot 3D. I don't care for them if they're processed after. The worst one that I ever saw was, I think, Clash of the Titans, the new one that came out in 3D. It literally looked like somebody's face. You pulled off their face off their head so that their head was here and their face was there because they converted it afterwards. Everything was just wrong with the 3D.
Well, everything was wrong with that movie.
Well,
It
that
just
too,
sucked.
yes.
But I've gotten to the point and we've all been to this theater, and I believe together, to see the IMAX down at North Park.
Yeah.
I would just much rather see a massively, beautifully projected, big sound system than I would depth within shots. And I go back to Force Awakens, and there's that moment, and I did see that 3D, where it's the super big Star Destroyer that's poking right out at you in 3D. And I thought, all it does is shock me. Oh, look, it's pointing at me. It doesn't provide depth. I at least thought Avatar. I at least thought there were numerous times where he didn't try the idea of this poking at you.
It would be a screen that somebody's working on, and it's a see-through interface, and you could see the depths of the interface as they're working. As they're just panning by, it's not like, look at my screen. It's just it's the world that they work in.
Or it was the flying scene when she's flying on whatever that thing is. It was almost like the whole Willis O'Brien kind of construction of King Kong, where he would do those plates and where he would put things in the foreground so there was depth to the background. He did that same thing. There would just be a tree in the foreground to show the depth.
How far they were, yeah.
And that I kind of like. And maybe that's where Cameron technically...
He knows how to shoot, yes. He can make a frame.
He's damn good. As a storyteller, he sucks. So at least Alita... He got Robert Rodriguez involved, and hopefully he can filter through that. So now I'm gonna have to go see that.
No, I liked it. It was good. It was a good time. Go watch it.
All right,
everybody.
Dad. Jeez.
Is that it?
Huh? I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Are you off your high horse now about whatever you forgot your high horse was?
Well, yeah. Now that I've got that out of my head, yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.